Renault Trucks propose le pack OptiRoll.
Renault Trucks offers the OptiRoll pack on Magnum and Premium DXi 11 Euro 5, fitted with the robotised OptiDriver Plus gearbox, to add new features and services to the range and maintain our leading position in fuel consumption. The OptiRoll pack comprises three functions: the OptiRoll function, a new cruise control known as Soft Cruise, and a power mode inhibition. The aim of the OptiRoll function is to overcome natural engine braking. This is easily achieved mechanically by opening the drivetrain, by controlling the front relay of the robotised OptiDriver Plus gearbox.
The
OptiRoll function is integrated into the cruise control for two reasons: to help our customers make fuel savings and to make the system easy to use for the driver. The new cruise control allows economic driving on the DXi 11 and DXi 13 engines. The aim is very simple. In relation to a given reference speed, the vehicle speed is permitted to drop by 2 km per hour on DXi 11 engines and 3 km per hour on DXi 13 engines, to guarantee the fuel savings, which of course result from the reduction in speed, but also because more economic engine speeds are used. Power mode modifies the gear shift strategy of the gearbox. It is activated by depressing the kickdown on the accelerator pedal and generally leads to gear shifts at higher engine speeds and more frequent downshifts. This brings additional mobility but also uses a little more fuel. To remain coherent, we have decided to remove this function from the OptiRoll pack simply to avoid wasting fuel. In relation to competing packages, the OptiRoll function stands out on 2 points. The first is that this function is only available in cruise control mode. Without cruise control, it cannot be activated. The second is that the operating amplitude is set to +7 km per hour and -3 km per hour in relation to a given reference speed. This range is fixed simply to guarantee our customers and drivers fuel savings and convenient and simple use. The benefits of the OptiRoll pack naturally depend on the type of road, the vehicle load, average speed, and the use of cruise control. We believe that the OptiRoll pack can bring savings of up to 0.9% on premium route and up to 1.2% on Magnum. My name is Jerome Oliver. I'm in charge of driver training for Renault Trucks. I teach OptiFuel training program courses every day. The OptiDriver Plus gearbox is very easy to use. You just put it in drive and the gearbox auto mode takes care of gear shifts. The OptiDriver Plus gearbox changes gear according to engine torque. Maximum engine torque is shown by the rev counter green band. Fuel consumption is at its best when inside this green band. Today, Renault Trucks vehicles have one of the widest green bands on the market. To benefit from the OptiRoll function, you have to be using cruise control. The cruise control function is activated by a switch on the dashboard. Speed regulation is selected by pressing the plus or minus button on the steering wheel once the desired speed has been reached. Here we are setting a cruising speed of 90 km per hour. The set speed can be adjusted using the plus and minus buttons. On the right of the steering wheel, there are two buttons connected to the cruise control. The O button stops the cruise control. The R button is used to resume cruise control at the last set speed used. It is not recommended to use cruise control in heavy traffic or heavy rain. Soft Cruise is the name given to the new generation of cruise control from Renault Trucks. Soft Cruise finds the best compromise between fuel economy and average speed. In some cases, this will mean a reduction in vehicle speed compared to cruise control set speed. in order to use a more economic and more efficient engine speed. In the case of Renault Premium, this speed reduction is limited to 2 km per hour. The new soft cruise strategies allow the cruise control to be used on moderately hilly motorway sections without adversely affecting fuel consumption. Part of the energy used to bring the vehicle to a given speed can be delivered in the form of inertia. The heavier the load transported and the higher the speed of the vehicle, the greater the inertia. By releasing the accelerator in certain situations, the vehicle will continue at the same speed without consuming a drop of fuel. The natural braking of the engine will oppose the inertia and determine the distance that can be covered without accelerating. To benefit from the best balance between optimization of fuel consumption and comfort in use, we recommend you choose a cruising speed of 83 km per hour. This will allow the OptiRoll to operate over its whole range without the driver needing to intervene. The speed of the vehicle will vary between 80 and 90 km per hour depending on the topography. In addition, the simple fact of choosing a cruising speed lower than 90 km per hour lets you save fuel. For an OptiRoll phase to be triggered, the vehicle must be in cruise control and the terrain must have a slight downhill slope. The OptiRoll function is activated by default on startup. When the OptiRoll function starts, the system displays the symbol E+ and puts the gearbox in neutral via the splitter relay. The engine speed drops to idle and the vehicle starts to run on its own inertia. There is no engine braking to oppose the forward movement of the vehicle. A very small amount of fuel, about 1 litre for every 100 kilometers, is needed to maintain engine speed at idle. To enable the vehicle to best use its own inertia, the OptiRoll allows the vehicle to pick up speed compared to its set speed. This exceeding of the set speed is limited to +7 km per hour. Once this limit has been reached, the gearbox automatically re-engages the most suitable gear in order to regulate the speed of the vehicle. If this is not enough to regulate the speed of the vehicle, the retarders will be activated automatically. Still with the aim of making the most of the vehicle's inertia, the OptiRoll function remains active below the set speed down to within -3 km per hour. When this limit is reached, the vehicle resumes a traction phase and the engine brings the vehicle back to cruising speed. It is possible to interrupt an OptiRoll phase temporarily if the driver wants to increase the speed of the vehicle. By depressing the accelerator, the driveline will immediately re-engage. Then, if the accelerator is released, OptiRoll phases will again be possible because the cruise control is still active. Any action on the brake pedal will immediately stop the OptiRoll phase and will also deactivate the cruise control. Similarly, any manual action on the retarder will immediately stop the OptiRoll phase. However, cruise control will deactivate only if vehicle speed is brought back to below the cruise control set speed. The OptiRoll function can be disabled by pressing the button provided. E-off will be displayed on the dashboard when the function is disabled. It is recommended to deactivate the OptiRoll function in mountainous terrain. Note that the regulation range of +7 km per hour will be retained. On steep downhill runs, the OptiRoll phases will be interrupted because the top speed limit will be reached very quickly. In this case, the descent should be managed conventionally by operating in the blue band of the engine and using the retarders. Caution, with or without OptiRoll, in regulation mode or outside cruise control, The driver is always responsible for the speed of the vehicle. Of course, it is possible to use the OptiFuel Infomax tool and thus highlight the gains provided by the OptiRoll function.